Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I felt like I needed a little attunement before I dove in today. And so I thought it was only fair that I gave you guys a little bit of a life update because things have been wild lately and I know that we are highly off schedule with the YouTube channel and life and business in general, but I figured that it would be best to give you a little bit of an update and explain what's going on in our world because you guys know that we hold ourselves at a strong standard, and so when we say we're going to do something, we do the thing. But the last couple of months have been wild, as you can tell by our office Christmas tree that still needs some more baubles attaching and more lights attaching, but I'm going to get to that tomorrow when life officially calms down. Do you ever feel like as an adult, that's all you ever say? Like, life's going to calm down tomorrow. And, I'm determined that life will actually calm down tomorrow, but we shall see whether the tree will get finished. But if not, it looks kind of pretty in the meantime, and the main tree is in the main room and the main lounge for the household. So whatever, things will just be what it is that they will be. Now, if you're new here, my name is Rose Victoria. I'm the creator of the Misfit Business Lounge, and I pride myself on kind of running my business in a very natural and organic way. And so when life is life in, I feel like I'm due to drop in and give you guys an update. Now, I'm just getting ready to go out for our annual Christmas dinner with my mum, my aunties, my sister, my sister-in-law, like all the females in my family. And I wasn't sure whether I was going to go because I felt really just tired and run down. Obviously, the kids have been sick again this week. I had the sickness bug on Friday. I hate being sick. It gives me post-traumatic stress. If you've been around for a long time, you'll know that when I was pregnant with Luna, I'd had hyperemesis, so I practically lived in the hospital. So now whenever I'm sick or the kids are sick, it just gives me like the stress inside of my body. And so Friday and Saturday, I just sat on the sofa. I watched Lindsay Lohan movies, super cringy Lindsay Lohan movies, and lived my best life. And it was everything that I needed. And I woke up this morning and I thought, you know what? Like, my mama bear doesn't have another minute to play nurse to my kids right now, or even get into like role play of playing teachers or mums and dads, which is how we spend the majority of our parenting time. But I just wanted a minute of me. And so I was like, I'm going, regardless, I'm going. But anyway, life has been crazy. And I feel like I owe you an update from like September up until this point. And so we're going to begin with September. Now, September is when things started to really shift for me energetically and emotionally. Luna was starting school and we had a very big decision to make in September. Now, we were deciding whether we wanted to stay where we are now in our local community or whether we wanted to move to the Isle of Man. And it was a really, really hard decision because the Isle of Man is everything we want. It's the freedom, it's the beach, it's the beautiful, like, life energy. Yes, we've got family here, but my dad's in the Isle of Man. And so it was this very, very tug of war. And as we were going through this decision, it was taking me back to this very like wounded inner child where I felt like I was choosing between mum and dad. And so it was bringing a lot of this like stress into my body because I was going back to that decisiveness of, am I going to upset mum? Am I going to upset dad? Like, where do I want to be? Where do I want to decide? And if you've come from divorced parents, you will know the stress that that creates. Now, I'm somebody who's done a lot of work on myself, and I continue to do a lot of work on myself to understand my childhood and the effect that it's had on me. But I think it comes in different seasons of life. And especially as I'm watching my children grow and my children evolve into being these incredible, tiny little human beings. But Luna's now 4 and she's the age that my parents separated. And so naturally, I kind of see the life through her lens a little bit. And I'm like, ooh, like I can't imagine how I would have felt. And so it brings up all of these emotions. Now, I'm no stranger to healing. And I think what's really important is that we remember that regardless of how much healing we've done, at different points of our journey, we're going to need to heal again. We're going to need to do more work. We're going to need to uncover more pieces of ourselves. And that's something that I felt a little bit of shame around. And I'm going to discuss that because shame is something that I'm seeing more and more and more in the online space. And I think it's something that comes from very, very toxic belief systems. You know, you can be a leader, and I know I'm a leader of the business world. I know I'm a leader of spirit and strategy and helping soul-led creators build and scale their business. I've worked really, really hard to know that I'm a leader of my craft. But there's a lot of shame that comes with the vulnerability. And I'm somebody who wants to crack that wide open because I want to be vulnerable with my community. I want to sit here and offload. I want to tell you about my journey because if not, what's the point? What's the point in any of this? And so I had to work really hard in the, okay, I'm going to let go of the shame. I'm just going to process. I'm going to feel. I'm going to give myself permission to rage it out, release it. And we made the decision to stay here, which is something that for right now, it felt like the right decision. I didn't feel ready to move, but I felt like I disappointed my dad. And so that brought a lot of emotions to the surface. Now, then Luna was starting school. So naturally, I'm going through this big journey of I stopped breastfeeding. We've had about 5 months stopped breastfeeding. The stress of deciding when to move, where to move, if to not to move. Luna starting school and going into this next chapter of motherhood, it just brought a lot of like emotions into my body. And my body weight was piling. I mean, I'd gained from February last year when I went to America up until August of this year. I'd gained like 2 stone, which for me, it was a lot. It felt heavy. Now, I'm not somebody who calculates by weight, but I felt heavy. And I was noticing that I felt very tired, very lethargic in my body. Now, I had a feeling that I might have been anemic, and I was very off with that feeling, but it was enough to make me go to the doctors, right? And so I went to the doctors, and the doctor was like, oh, you're not anemic. Good news. Bad news, your liver enzymes are high. Now, instantly, I was like, oh, I didn't know how to take that because I'm not a drinker. And so when you think of liver, you think of drinking, which is probably wrong. And it's not like medically advised that we tie the two together. But instantly I was like, well, I don't drink. And I kind of got a little bit defensive. And then I went into this shame cycle because I used to drink and I used to be a party goer and I used to take too many substances. And I've worked really, really hard to change my life and to be a present mom and to provide to my children. And I was like, am I going to die? Like, is there something wrong with me? Very dramatic. I'm a Taurus, right? So it was all very, very dramatic energy. And the doctor was like, well, we can't tell you anything now. The way that we do it is in 3 months, we're going to test again. And the hope is that you've just had a virus, which has raised the liver enzymes, and then they're going to drop again. And so they tested again last week, and I'll get to that part of the story. Anyway, so my mind was going into a frenzy. But I really knew that that was a sign from spirit that I needed to slow down. Now, anyone who knows me knows that the back end of the year is always like my like feisty time. I love like closing a year. I don't know, there's just something about it that feels giddy. It feels exciting. I just love closing a year. I love giving my energy to my business, serving spirit, just being present. Is always my most abundant time. Like November, December is always when like the most money gets banked in my business because I just love playing in that energy. Anyway, I decided I need to go inwards. And I think there's been a lot leading to this point. I was realizing that I had a lot of clients that were very demanding inside of my space. And I'm not scared of demanding clients because I want to provide and I want to give. And if you're in my space, you'll know that I overgive. Like that's what I do. If you sign up to work with me one-to-one, like I'm going to sit there and help you write your content. I'm going to help you formulate your strategy. I'm going to do the things with you because I want you to get the results. But I was noticing there was a lot of unalignment. And even though I was giving, it was coming at this empty hand. Like I was noticing clients that I overgive, where I extended their payment plans, or I threw in extra sessions, or I like did something for them when I didn't have to do it. These were the clients that were meeting me with these back-ended energies. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. And so in September, I decided I'm going to just slow down. I'm going to stop pushing to make more money. I'm just going to hold the clients that I have. I'm going to hold what I've got going on in my business. I'm going to be really present with what I have going on in my business, but I'm going to prioritize me. And so I went back into regulating my nervous system, making sure that my boundaries were really strong, that I was clocking off at 5 p.m. every day, that I was like doing the things that I needed to do. And this naturally was created a little bit of unnerving energy in my business because I think I work with a lot of time zones. So again, if I clock off at 5 p.m. and people haven't dropped into me in Voxer, they're not getting me till the next day. And it was all of these strong boundaries that I needed to set so that I could give myself what it is that I needed and work on myself and my emotional release and just be present so that I could continue being a leader and being a good mom and you know, working with the demand of life. So I started to put these boundaries in place. And I made a really big decision to let go of 15K reoccurring income. And this 15K reoccurring income, which was clients that would continuously pay me, but it was clients that had a very, very high demand. It was a combination of one-to-one clients and corporate leader clients. Now, working in the corporate field kind of consists of charities, organizations, people who are paying you to deliver services on a bigger scale, right? But it was coming with so much demand that it just felt unaligned. And so I made the decision to let go of it, which instantly freed me up. I felt like I could think again, like I could free flow again. I felt like I had the time and the availability to just give myself what it is that I needed, which was what I needed, right? And so instantly my energy was coming back. I was feeling this lease of life. And then I was seeing all this direction of where I wanted to go with my business and started to get that energy and that mojo back. But that energy and mojo came at the extent of me going back into my health journey, being really strong with, we meditate every morning, we meditate every night. regulating my nervous system, clocking off, doing the work to really hold that accountability to the standard that I wanted in my life. And so then I was able to replace that income in November with 25K of reoccurring, really good, really high, stimulating soul aligned clients who respected me, who honored my boundaries, who knew that I would overgive when it felt good, that knew that it wasn't about how much time I was given. Like, if I dive in, you get the goods. If I'm not present, you don't get the goods. But it's not about that, right? Because what it is really about is when I show up, like, I give the magic, I give the depth, both energetically, strategically, but you don't need me. And those are the clients that I was attracting. And from November to now, I've never felt more connected with my business. I feel really, really juicy, really, really activated. I've been doing a lot of like soulful somatic work, but then also dropping into my client's strategy and guiding them into, understanding their email workflows, doing their funnel process. We have the team that are coming in and helping my clients create their graphics and their funnel system. And it's felt really, really, really good. And obviously there's boundaries in that. If you pay me £1,000, you're not entitled to every inch of me, right? Anyway, so I'm starting to feel really good. As I'm starting to feel good, Freddie gets sick. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that. It's just a sickness bug from spirit. But big Freddie energy. That's what we call it in this house. Freddie has big Freddie energy. Freddie has the biggest and the most beautiful, boldest personality. He's very much like Lewis. Now, if you've met Lewis, he's very hyperactive, very energized, like a big, big character. And Freddie is very much like him. And so these two bounce off the walls, right? Freddie was bouncing off the walls, but he had a fever. He didn't want to go to nursery. He had this horrendous, like, viral cough. And he wanted me. So I'm like, it's fine, I'll slow down in business, it's okay, like, my clients are comfortable with me being a mom, I'll slow down. So I slow down for like 2 weeks whilst he's getting better. My clients are very, very understanding. We get better and I'm like, okay, we're ready to go, we're ready to close the year. He gets another viral bug. This time, like, out for the count, like, literally out for the count. Then he gets the sickness bug, which is this week, right? So he gets the sickness bug, Lewis gets the sickness bug. I think, right, me and Luna have survived this. We've got this, we've mastered this, we've locked this down. Luna gets the runs, so she's out for the count. And then just as they all get better, I start throwing up. And I'm like, Jesus, I just want to go in and I want to close the year and I want to be strong and I want to make money and I'm ready to get back out there and I'm ready to show up in my business. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Not today, honey. Not today, sweetheart. And I'm like, ugh. But also I think it was a sign from spirit that I needed to slow down. Because again, I think, yes, I have this energy, but spirit is guiding me towards how it wants me to utilize this energy intentionally. And I think there's a bigger weight that's coming to the surface. And so I'm just riding the wave and I'm honoring it and I'm letting it be. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't come with that pit in the stomach of, something else to hold me back, something else to throw me off track. And, then I felt like, okay, I'll share this with my clients. They get it. Like, I've got all these plans for my clients the back end of the year. I'll show up on online and I'll tell them about Freddie being sick and all of the things. And I receive all of these messages from people in the spiritual community about how sickness means that my son's carrying this like undiagnosed anxiety and he's obviously worrying about something to contract all of these viruses. No, he's 2. He goes to nursery. Everybody in nursery has the viruses. It's passing around like wildfire. It's going to continue passing like wildfire. Like, absolutely not. Meanwhile, I'm throwing up whilst receiving these messages. And so it didn't trigger me. I just feel like it's disrespectful. 1, you don't lean into my son's energy. 2, you don't pretend you know what my son is carrying, especially if you don't have kids. Like, kids get viruses, right? And so let's normalize that, because yes, we're in a spiritual plane, but also there's very human life existences and we have to remember that. So that triggered me, and I'm just going to put that out there that it's, let's not do that. Let's not do that anymore, okay? And so it gets to like now, and I'm starting to feel better. It's Sunday, I'm starting to feel better. But I went back for my blood test results on Friday and the doctor said my enzymes hadn't dropped, which means now I have to have my CT scans. Pretty sure that I have a gallstone. Spirit has been talking me through it and I'm pretty sure I have a gallstone. So whilst I'm waiting for my CT scan, I'm going to start a low-fat, low-sodium diet just to see if that naturally passes things. What Spirit told me is that the gallstone is stuck in my liver duct, which is causing my liver enzymes. Now, we will see how accurate Spirit is, but that is what I am intuitively feeling is going on. I don't feel like it's anything worse than that. I don't feel like I've got fatty liver disease or any of those things. So we'll see. and I will obviously keep you updated. But the reason why I wanted to jump on and do this video is life happens. Life is busy. Life is chaotic. There's a lot that we have to move through in life. I haven't got all my star sign readings up for this month. I haven't got all of my content out there that I'd planned. I haven't gone hard on sales this month. I haven't done all of those things. But what I have done is come back to a place of grounding and presence and just like letting things be and knowing that I am worthy of being waited for. And even if I need to take a little bit of extra time, like my clients love to work with me and that's not going to create any discomfort. And so if you're somebody who is in this season of life right now where you want to go, but life is slowing you down, just know that there's a reason and that there's plenty of time for you to go after what it is that you want. And also a reminder that it doesn't matter about how present you can be in the physical layer, because I put a flash sale on my wealth activator, and I'll drop it down below, which is $44, teaches you how to bridge miscommunication in your business, step into your identity, step into your leadership, really get out there and active inside of your soul work. And it's bringing in money and it's bringing in clients and it's bringing in conversation, but I'm also able to then slip back and just be with my children. And so that's my life update. It's been a little bit chaotic, but I'm ready to come back at it. I feel a little bit more like myself today, probably because I got ready without having 2 children just dangling at my feet like, Mom, I need you. I've got a temperature. Please save me. I actually got to be a human being for 5 minutes. And so that was good. But drop me a like and subscribe. I will be back to riff on all of the things at some point. But there's my life update.